Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph, or Hbar if you will. Now listen, I've been discussing Hedera for a very long time, and when we're talking about what's happening right now in the world, we're talking about digitization and tokenization pretty much growing at an astronomical rate. And that is probably going to continue on for the next at least 10 to 20 years, especially around the world, in terms of just tokenization and digitization of pretty much almost every industry, and pretty much marches forward on into the Web 3.0 scene. Now, of course, at some point in time, we will go beyond Web 3.0. But again, when we're talking about Hedera, I think Hedera is going to be the heart and soul for a lot of the digitization that we do see on a day-to-day basis. So let's actually jump in and let's discuss what's happening real quick in the market. So we are down about 0.53%, nothing too crazy, sitting at about a $2.74 trillion market cap. And of course, Bitcoin sitting around 62.2K, and Ethereum is still sitting around $4,500. Now, we do have the weekly candle close this weekend. I do think that it could get pretty volatile at some points, especially considering the fact that we still have that November drop to kind of be concerned about in terms of the fractal patterns that played out in 2017, 2018. But when we're talking about things, I still think that a lot of these assets are looking fairly good. XRP still above $1.15 in terms of that major support zone. And of course, Hedera Hashgraph down here sitting pretty at 40 cents almost. It is still above that 36 centile range in terms of that nice support zone. And of course, we have seen higher support being targeted on Hbar, which I've always said we are continuing to print higher lows. For an example, on the 7-day span, I know it doesn't look like a higher low. On the 1-month span, you could actually kind of see the higher low being printed here, 32 cents, and then of course up here we have about 35 cents, and then of course up here we have about 37 cents. So that 37 centile range, or actually that's 38 cents, I should say, that is the main higher low that we just recently printed during it was around November 4th. So right now, Hbar still looks fairly pretty in terms of price action and overall, holding of these major higher lows. Until we do break down below this point, I'm not going to be, too scared or worried or anything like that. And in fact, I don't even let my emotions kind of get the best of me with Hbar, because we have been in a solid upward momentum since the summertime. So overall, I think that this is a comfy hold, and I'm not too concerned at all. Now, I do want to quickly jump into things, but before we do jump into things, if you guys do want to check out the Ultimate Crusader Trading Bundle Pack, this includes pretty much everything on here, including Hbar exit strategies, my trading indicator strategies, all that kind of stuff. And I do plan, excuse me, on updating this with a lot of bear market stuff, as well as, what I do on a day-to-day basis for a living. And there's a lot of stuff to really kind of include in this, so I'm going to be updating this on a day-to-day basis very soon once I do find a lot more time in a day. But overall, if you guys are interested in that, check out NCashOfficial.com. But with that being said, let's move on. So a lot of things are happening within this entire scene. In fact, we're talking about multi-CBDC platforms. This is going to be pretty cool. In fact, this is called mBridge. Now, we don't know if it's going to be built on Hedera, but it does sound like it to Phil Fizz over here. So let's listen closely and analyze this.
A 60-page report in end September, and now this video, we just uploaded it onto our website, as well as this brochure that accompanies it. And the base fact is you can make payments instantly, okay? So most of the payments on the prototype were in under 2 seconds. So it's not even like an hour, okay? It's 2 seconds compared to the current system, 3 to 5 days. So that's something we know. But I think, and that's important because that's the base use case. But what we need on top of that is indeed bringing the users along, right? And that's why we now have the use cases, and we're starting a much more active interaction really with the private sector to make this succeed. On the last point on the distinction between private digital currencies versus central bank ones, I do think there is a very big distinction, and the distinction is that one is a claim on the central bank and the other one is not. So I do think, let's say, it's a competitive game, Shwepwe, as you said, but with different, everyone has its advantages and disadvantages, and central bank currency is, after all, the one that we currently use every day. So thank you very much,
So listen, when we're talking about Hbar being a big, component in the CBDC space, we already know that they have a ton of connections to major markets around the world, especially in the banking scene. We already see, DBS and multiple other banking systems like the Shinhan Bank joining the GC member, right? So when we're talking about the connections, there's a ton there. And I don't need to tell you guys that. You obviously understand that from an overall base point of watching my videos as well as watching the Hedera Hashgraph news. So when we're talking about this, could this be Hbar? Could this be a multi-CBDC platform coming to Hedera? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. When we're talking about what Hedera is doing, when we're talking about the utility behind it, the overall efficiency behind it, it would be perfect for CBDCs to be built within this platform and the ecosystem. And we actually got a little bit of some confirmation today, actually. Going back here, right, translated, this actually came out today. Shinhan Bank is testing the issuance of won-based stablecoins in cooperation with global companies. We're testing the issue of won-based stablecoins based on the Hedera Hashgraph Hbar public blockchain and using them for overseas remittances. Now, I'm just saying, a lot of people said Hbar is not competing with XRP. Hbar and XRP are going to be friends. Listen, no. They're all coming for the same markets. They will all get a slice of the pie. There's a ton of money to go around. But when we're talking about this is huge. I don't need to tell you guys how huge this is. In fact, I've always said, people always say, laugh out loud, Hbar is a garbage coin. It would need a market cap of $150 billion at $10. Look at what's happening behind the scenes. No hype, no marketing, just straight up facts and major innovation. Do I really believe Hbar is capable of achieving a $150 billion market cap by the end of the bull run? Without a doubt. Okay, and it doesn't mean that's guaranteed to. I am just saying, with all this major update, the major fundamental updates that are happening, okay, I cannot see Hbar not being in at least the top 5. Okay, going back to the PND, right, the Project New Dawn white paper. We know that MTech is working with Hedera. In fact, if we're looking down here, we already see them being utilized as a major network for, guess what? Interoperability, and of course providing the trust in a private CBDC network. So going back to this, when we are seeing so much CBDC adoption taken over, I would not be surprised with Hedera Hashgraph being the main ecosystem that a lot of this stuff is built on. And of course we know that CBDCs could be built on a private ledger or even a public ledger. It's most likely going to be built on a private ledger so that central banks could control it a little bit more and have the control over it, which is totally fine with me. And it still allows for trillions of dollars to be transacted over something like the Hedera ecosystem. So this is pretty big. I think that this is incredible, especially talking about this, right? I think that this is massive. I understand that it's just a test. I understand that they're not utilizing it just yet. But guess what? I don't see them having a single issue with this test. I think that this is going to open a lot of doors for them, especially considering how efficient Hedera Hashgraph is in terms of the Hashgraph technology. And when we're talking about what Hbar really offers a lot of these enterprises in terms of the highest grade security, pretty much the fastest speeds that you've ever seen in this market, as well as that nice 3 to 5 second finality, I don't see this being a problem at all. And again, we're talking about issuance of tokenized assets or stable coins, and this goes perfectly in terms of what Hedera's main use case that I've talked about for such a long time on this channel is trying to achieve. So this is huge. Now, I also want to talk to you guys a little bit about the NFT space, because I just did a breakdown of the NFT space just yesterday in regards to Hedera Hashgraph. We do see our developer Mythical Games announced its successful $150 million funding round led by Pmarka as NFTs continue to proliferate throughout the gaming world. NFTs are growing in astronomical demand. In fact, guess what? This company has a valuation of $1.25 billion. NFTs are going to continue to grow and grow and grow. I do not need to tell you guys that. In fact, a lot of the NFTs that we are seeing going around the market right now are just scratching the surface of what could be achieved through NFTs. I think the gaming scene is set for disruption from the NFT marketplace, but I also see, NFTs in governance, healthcare. We also see it in law. It could stretch to many markets beyond the gaming scene. I understand that that is just the tip of the iceberg, but there is a lot of things to really kind of talk about in this market. Now, also, we've seen HexTrust partner with Hashport to enable greater interoperability across blockchains. This is insanely bullish. I don't need to tell you guys exactly how or why. Just read this. There are currently over 100 active public blockchains in the market, each with their own unique applications, security models, consensus mechanisms, and design trade-offs. Hashport aims to unify this increasingly fragmented landscape with a public infrastructure utility designed to strike the right balance between security, speed, cost effectiveness, and ease of use. Initial network integrations will focus on Hedera Hashgraph, Ethereum, and Polygon, followed by an additional protocols in early 2022. Listen to this. Hashport brings the digital asset industry one step closer to a multi-chain market structure designed to unlock greater productivity and utility across individual ecosystems, providing users with seamless access to the ever-increasing range of protocols and decentralized applications. This is massive for interoperability. I've always discussed to you guys how huge this is going to be. And again, this is going to empower users to explore an ever-expanding array of distributed networks, use cases, and opportunities that were previously out of reach. By combining the power of the Hedera consensus service with Hashport's world-class validator swarm, an unrivaled level of functional trust is created. This is a massive partnership. It is growing day by day. The ecosystem is slowly but surely, okay, becoming a huge ecosystem that is something to not be disregarded, okay? I, again, do not need to tell you guys how big this is going to be because you should already see it from what I've told you guys about interoperability with Q&T. This is, at the end of the day, beyond billions of dollars. This is multi-chain interoperability built within the Hedera consensus service. This is huge, okay? Now also, I do quickly want to show you guys something else. So Fluid, Make It Fluid, becomes the first international POS and retail technology system certified for the AI standard, which allows for secure creation, distribution, and redemption of coupons. Hedera Hbar is used for transparency and trust in AI. So this could be pretty cool. Again, wouldn't be surprised with how big, the Coupon Bureau has been in terms of, the innovation that they're doing in that scene. Guys, a lot of innovations happening at a rapid pace. I'm telling you guys, this is only the beginning of what's to come. This is scratching the tip of the iceberg. And here's some major developments happening around the world. In fact, we go Shinhan Bank NFT technology verification completed. Won-based stablecoin issuance test is also underway. We are testing the issuance of Won-based stablecoins based on the Hedera Hashgraph public blockchain and using them for overseas remittances. Developments on Hbar, Shinhan Bank, ENG testing stablecoin, USDC, Circle Pay, and Coinbase, FPOS, Australia, micropayments, SBG Group or SB Group, planned stablecoin, cross-border payments, tokenized commodities, and bond exchange. DBS Bank joins the GC. Probably nothing. There is a ton of innovation happening on the Hedera ecosystem. Do I need to tell you guys how huge this is going to be? Because this is right in front of your faces. Understand what you hold, know what you hold, and understand how big it's going to be, and you will be successful beyond your dreams. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are. Just people with this Nick. Peace out, guys.